A quick update on my facelift that I had with Dr. Arturo Valdez in Cancun, Mexico. I had two procedures done, two surgeries. The first was October 16th, and I had a forehead lift, temporal brow lift, and that surgery was about, I don't know, 3.5 hours. And then a week later, I returned, and Dr. Valdez did a lower bleph because I had already had my upper eyes done a few years ago. We did a deep plane face and neck lift. We did a lip lift, some fat transfer. And that surgery was about 7 hours. And it was absolutely seamless. I had the most wonderful care. The team was fantastic. Everybody from the nurses to the anesthesiologist, everybody was just, I felt so well taken care of. And it's 5 months out now. So I just want to kind of talk a little bit about my healing process. The most painful part for me of both surgeries, I don't know if other people would agree, was the forehead lift. That I had a headache for a few days. I am definitely a bruiser. So if you look at some of my TikToks, you'll see I was very bruised. When you look at yourself, you're like, oh my God, did I make a mistake? And Dr. Valdez was always just so reassuring, calmed me down, saying, you are going to look beautiful. Look at that neck. He became my surgeon of choice. I had another person in mind, and then because I was impatient, when you make the decision, you want to get it done. And so I didn't want to wait. And he was like 3 weeks out before he could have a video consult. And a friend of mine actually said, hey, you probably should wait for this guy. So I did. And in that first video consult of him just really looking at my face and having me, do expressions and I sent my photos in, and he said, yeah, this is what I recommend that I would do for you. And I just trusted him. I felt by looking at his credentials that I was going to be very well taken care of. The nursing staff, wonderful. They took me to every single appointment, and you are safe there. I mean, I had a cardiology appointment. I had x-rays done. I did the blood work, and they went through it line item by line item with me and made me feel that I was going to be very well taken care of. And I was. It was such personalized care. I was fortunate in that I have a home on Isla Mujeres, which is a very short ferry ride across. So I was able to go see Dr. Valdez many, many times for follow-ups. And I had one troublesome area. I had a kind of a deep scab right here. And he just looked at it a few times and said, we're going to leave it alone. If we need to touch it up later down the road, we will. Don't worry. And I'm scheduled to go back and have him just do a little bit of a revision on that in office. I highly recommend it. 5 months out, touch-ups. I love my neck. I had a very droopy neck before. He looked at pictures of me from when I was like 44, 45, and I feel like that wasn't my goal to look that good. But I have people looking at me every day going, you just look so refreshed. Mexico's good for you. And I giggle. And they say, oh, have you lost weight? I giggle. Oh, maybe a few pounds. Some of my people that I've told no, and they've been really supportive. It's just a process. I still am a little numb up here. I've got these anchors up in my scalp here. They still, they're kind of bumpy, kind of hurt if you touch them, but they're going to dissolve. I have some numbness in here. I'm starting to get some feeling back, which is good. Overall, though, I feel like I got a new lease on life. I'm going to be 65 in August. This was my gift to myself because I wanted to age like I feel on the inside. I wanted to look on the outside, and I feel like I completely achieved that result. If anyone has any questions or reservations, I'm happy to talk with anybody. You can reach out for me on TikTok. Dr. Valdez is a true, I call him an artist, and he's very humble. He's just really in tune to each individual person, and I would go back in a heartbeat. So